Good morning. Over 8 hours of top-class sport ahead of us, notably the final day's competition in the World Indoor Athletics Championships in Toronto. But that's much later. There really is only one place to start, and that's live on the grid at Kyalami for the South African Grand Prix. The green light is just a few moments away, and that will signal the start of a fascinating race and a really intriguing Formula One World Championship season. That's the scene live at Kyalami, just outside Johannesburg, and we'll hand straight to James Hunt and Murray Walker.
Welcome to Kyalami.
It's clearly going to be a very interesting championship, isn't it? And we'll have further reflections on that South African Grand Prix shortly after 2:30. Let's give you some other news as we move on now. And cricket, Hampshire's Robin Smith completed his first overseas Test 100, as England enjoyed rather mixed fortunes on the second day of the Test against Sri Lanka in Colombo. Smith was out for 128, Captain Alex Stewart made 63, but then England lost their last 7 wickets for just 64 runs, and they were all out for 380. In reply, Sri Lanka had made good progress, reaching 140 for 1 by the close. Soccer, latest score at Old Trafford, Manchester United and Aston Villa, the top 2 in the Premier League, 0-0. Interesting first half, but that is a half-time scoreline, goalless at Old Trafford. And England are through to the semi-finals of the World Youth Championship after a 4-3 penalty shootout win over Mexico. England through to a semi-final meeting with Ghana in Sydney on Wednesday. Brazil beat the USA and they'll face Australia in the other semi-final also on Wednesday. And Rugby Union, England have announced an unchanged side to their final Five Nations Championship match against Ireland in Dublin on Saturday. Unsurprisingly, Stuart Barnes and Tony Underwood keep their places. Now, off to Toronto, the World Indoor Athletics Championships. The bulk of our live coverage will be after 6 o'clock this evening, but there's a fair bit to review before that. Brendan Foster has joined us. And Brendan, the drugs issue has once again surrounded competition, courtesy of Ben Johnson. What do you make of the return, though, of Butch Reynolds back after his ban for what is a hotly disputed positive test?
Well, that's right. It is a hotly disputed test, and there's both sides of the equation on that one. But at least Butch Reynolds now got the 2 years behind him where he was banned. He's now in a position where he can make the news on the track. And I think for him, I think he must be absolutely fed up. He's been in court, he's been fighting the battles, he's been spending millions of dollars of his own money to try and clear his name. He's now won damages of $27 million. He probably won't ever collect that. But at least I think he can put that behind him and do what he does best. And let's see him running again. He is hot favourite for this event. And it would be good to see him just, coming back and getting his name in the papers for the right reason. OK, he's eager to compete. So Butch Reynolds going in the semi-finals of the 400 metres. We'll see that now. Our commentators Paul Dickinson, Stuart Story and David Coleman.
The first half of the race.
Some of last night's action, but Brendan, Butch Reynolds will take a lot of satisfaction if he could lift that title, couldn't he?
He will. He looks strong. He looks to be the favourite in the field. And I'm impressed with the way he's running in the latter stages of the race. But the interesting thing is, he's won this award, Damages Against the IAAF, whose president, Primo Nebbiolo, is there to present the prizes. And he said if Butch Reynolds wins the gold medal, he's got no hard feelings. He won't be giving him the $27 million, but he will present him with a gold medal.
That be in his mind, do you think? He's a determined character.
Oh, he's got 2 years of where he's just ached in his heart. He's denied this thing strenuously, more strenuously than any other athlete has ever denied a drugs offence. So you begin to think that he's probably telling the truth. And there's nothing better for an athlete to prove to the world that they were clean, and then they can come back and do it as good as they've done it before. OK, that's to look forward to a little bit later. Brendan, for the moment, thanks very much. Butch Reynolds, by the way, we'll see in our evening programme much later. He's set to go at around 7:55. Well, we're off the air briefly now to make way for the week in Westminster, and when we return, it'll be with more athletics. We'll see Yvonne Murray in the 3,000 metres final. Colin Jackson as well in the 60 metres hurdles semi-final. That's when we return with Sunday Grandstand at 2:30. And the programme also includes plenty more as well. There's figure skating, World Championship highlights from Prague. British League Ice Hockey featuring the new champions Cardiff. Skiing, the ladies downhill from the Olympic venue at Lillehammer. And rugby special in its usual place at 5:10. Decent sporting afternoon. Join us in half an hour with Colin Jackson
and Yvonne Murray. Welcome again to Sunday Grandstand. The afternoon sporting action has already delivered victory in the South African Grand Prix for Alain Prost. We'll have more on that in a moment, plus some top-class athletics. And that includes Colin Jackson in action in the World Indoor Championships in Toronto. Yvonne Murray going for victory in the 3,000 metres. There's figure skating, highlights and a gala from the World Championships in Prague. Ice hockey features the new league champions Cardiff against Billingham. Skiing comes from Lillehammer, the Olympic venue, the ladies downhill. And rugby special, 5:10, yesterday's vital championship match between Bath and Wasps. But first is the South African Grand Prix, the start of the Formula One World Championship season at Kyalami, which you may have been watching earlier. And all the pre-season speculation was due to end when that green light came on. Here's the start, and watch out for Damon Hill off the second row. So it was Prost from Senna, and in third place, Mark Blundell, comfortably his best ever finish in Grand Prix racing in this, his first drive for Ligier. Christian Fittipaldi fourth in the Minardi, JJ Leto fifth in the debut of the Sauber. Only 5 finishers out of the 26 starters. Berger was classified 6th. And Derek Warwick, he just missed out on a points finish when he spun off in that rain on the last lap. Great disappointment for Derek Warwick, but let's hear from those top 3. And those were the top 2. We hope to hear from third place Mark Blundell. Such a super performance in the Ligier from him today. We'll hear from Mark a little bit later in the programme. Let's give you a quick check on the latest scoreline from Old Trafford. Manchester United and Aston Villa top 2 in the Premier League, and it's still all square, but 1 apiece. Steve Staunton had given Villa the lead with a quite superb goal after 53 minutes. But 3 minutes later, Mark Hughes with a headed equaliser. Latest score, Manchester United 1, Aston Villa 1. Let me also remind you that Grand Prix tonight, 8:35 BBC 2. But right now we're going to move back into the World Indoor Athletics Championships that are reaching their climax in Toronto, and we'll have more from last night's action, which really did promise a great deal from the British point of view. First of all, it's Colin Jackson in the first semi-final of the 60 metres hurdles, and commentary comes from David Coleman.
And the final of the World Championship of the women's 3,000 metres. 12 athletes lining up.